Welcome back to Time to Talk with me, Typhoon. Today, we are joined by a leader at the forefront of innovation, investment, and exponential technology. He is the Chief Executive Officer of SCB 10X, a forward-thinking venture builder and investor in disruptive technologies, and also served as Chief Innovation Officer at SCBX, steering one of Thailand's most influential financial groups into the digital future. He's on a mission to transform the way we live, work, and build. You are watching Time to Talk. The iconic status of opinion leaders, the convergence of local and global influencers. With me, Typhoon. As mentioned, fellow, let's meet up with the new, young, hot CIO of SCB 10X คุณต้อง Kaweewut Temphuwapat สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับสวัสดีครับ
A pleasure to finally meet you again.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
For the newly appointment.
Yeah.
Okay. Being
Thank you.
CEO is so cool. Especially for such a corporate like SCB.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So first of all, I must ask. So what do you think? Why they make you the new CEO of SCB 10X?
Okay. I think it's very hard because it's not my decision, but yeah, I've been with the groups for a while, and I actually was at SCB 10X before when we start. Like we are actually a couple of us like a co-founder of SCB 10X, so I know the team very well, and I've been in this kind of innovation space for the group for a while. So I think when there's a change in management and they think about someone who can run the team, a new team, young team, so I might be the one who can, or at least can help them.
And in your personal opinions, or what abilities that you think this one is the most outstanding that they when they think of you?
I think it's I had my background in venture capital before. I actually the one helped set up at the PTT. I was like 7 years back then, so I had an experience doing venture capital and creating the culture. So I think culture-wise very important, and because we have all the teams here. I came, the team's still there, so I kind of know how the team works and how to get them going into the next level. So yeah, I think because of the team and the vibe, and I kind of know that very well.
So what did you bring on the table? What aspect do you think you will run this organization throughout all the trouble that you will face from now on?
First of all, SCB 10X now it's a venture capital funds. We've been investing during the past 5 or 6 years, $600 million already. So that's a big fund. So we continue to do that. We have to go back to Silicon Valley, to a place where innovations happen, and then go to see what's going on there, be an eyes and ears for the company, for SCB. But also pick the right company to invest. So I think that's the experience and the network that I had when I was there, when I was at the Bay Area and in San Francisco at Stanford. So that's one thing. The next thing, creating new things here, we also have a research, the AI model that we did in-house called Typhoon. That part I think is very interesting because we have a good tech team. I actually helped the team creating a product, to use internally, and that's another part that I did. I actually wear double hats right now. So one is CEO of SCB 10X, doing research and venture capital. Another hat is I'm a Chief Innovation Officer at SCBX level. So basically, the job is to take in the technologies and create the value out of it, right? So create the products internally. So Typhoon is a research model that been built here. I bring that to the group to create value for the business. So those are pretty much two tasks that I really focus on. In terms of the mindset, here we really celebrate our culture. It's been there since we start. It's called Boost, BOOST, and you see it.
Yes, Boost.
Yeah, so it's boldness, openness, ownership, speed, and trust. So I think never change. And I think that's been the part when you come to work in the innovation space. Those things very important. We actually hire people and evaluate people by that.
For the organizations. Yeah. But how do you align? Because you're wearing two hats at the same time, and that's huge. So how do you align those two altogether?
I think in terms of the alignment, it aligns very well. I'm not sure if you know, but One of the key problems when you as a venture capital fund invest in the startup, it's very hard to bring the startup into the organization because of the way they work, right? But now I have two roles because I invest in startup, I know the startup, and I also the one who actually like a gate for all the technologies to come in. Before that gate, if it's a different person, they might not know, oh, what are startup, right? They don't have time. But for me, it's like that synergized very well. So I think that part's benefit SCBX.
You don't have to explain to anyone but yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I know already that this startup is going to work.
I know it works.
Has potential. So.
Exactly. So I take it in, and then I, as a CIO, go talk to the business units.
Okay.
Hey, you want to try this, right? And when you have that role, people are willing to talk to you. Okay. So that's easier. So getting that synergy from investing and getting the product to use internally, I think that's a big synergy there between two roles.
How can Thai people expect from SCBX and SCB 10X from now on?
Okay, I think SCBX is there, right? Yeah. We are the bank, right? So we provide financial service, right? SCBX level, we have a number of financial service. We have a bank who's trying to transform themselves, give products, SCB Easy, mobile banking, that's one thing, right? We have a number of digital lending business that we kind of provide access to financial for people. I think that's part SCBX has been a mission to help all those, We actually bring in new technologies to use in the bank. That's actually helped the bank reduce the cost, create more, new kind of service. That's one thing. But another thing is a new initiative that we did during the past few years, Typhoon LLM. We actually have very smart people here, all the young people who are really good at it. They create the Thai language on top. Now I think they become the best Thai LLM language model for Thailand right now. This is very new. We open source it so people can just connect the API and build it on top, right? So we have like 100,000 people using it right now. We have number of respectable organizations use it like Sirirat, TDRI, Kaparo. So we work with a number of respectable organization helping them to use our own LLM to create a product internally.
Could we say that what are you and your team are trying to do is like support or build something up for Thai people that in the near future?
The mission is we just try to be an option. So we're not going to say, oh, you can use everything from us, right? Because there's a lot of investment there. But first of all, Typhoon has been used internally as well. We actually use it, have you heard, maybe you heard word, eat our own dog food, right? We are actually use it internally. We think it's good enough. In the future, we actually, open it to people to use. If you depends on the closed source models like, Microsoft, GPT, all those, right? Thai language is, they call it low resource language. So they're not going to focus because we are 60 million people here, right? So it's not a language where it's been used by many people around the world. So it's like we just have another option that we use something on our own as well. But we're not kind of stick to it. It's just we have to keep our option open. Okay. I think that's very important for the strategy right now for AI because you cannot choose which one is better right now because everything is moving very fast. So having this as a resource is good for us and I think good for Thai people.
What are the most challenging aspects in your point of view, in your personal point of view for now in this era?
The context of SCB 10X is we have to focus on the long term. Things will happen, things will change in the short term. There will be things happening, geopolitics and stuff. There will be macroeconomics change, right? But for us, SCB 10X, we are venture capital investments and research is a long-term thing. So you need to keep an eye on the long term. But anyway, you have to kind of manage the stakeholders, help them work around the short term. But in the same time, also focus on the reward in the long term that, we did this for the long term. All the things will change if you focus on the long-term horizon. I think that's something very challenging in the internal context, but that's something we're trying to do to focus on the long term.
We have to prepare because everything changes so quickly.
Yeah.
For now, so what are you doing exactly? The SCB 10X.
Okay.
Besides the large language model for Thai people.
Last year we did what called Ruby's wallet. It's a wallet where based on the stablecoin infrastructure. So we experiment all of those as well. So another number of technologies as we are trying to experiment.
Well, but the most favorite thing is technologies always comes like fast. There are like many steps ahead of all the regulations and understanding of people. How do we fix it?
In the spirit of innovation, one thing that's really important is you need to keep experimenting. When you say you keep experimenting, it's like you have to keep failing. You fail and you learn something, right? So experiment is the word. You never know.
Okay.
Keep do it, right?
Okay.
But you have that infrastructure, have that culture that encourage people to experiment. Create that infrastructure and the culture around it, like when you fail, it's okay. You've been recognized for a good failure when you bold enough, like our culture, to do something new. You know how to fail effectively and you learn and you adapt it very fast. That's the way when you catch up for the things that's changing all the time. So you have to keep doing it. It's not, you just cannot just reading the books and listening to YouTube. Cannot. You have to just get your team a chance to experiment and see how they learn in a small scale and when the time comes so you can know what works and what not.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's happening in your organization.
Yeah.
That's the culture for now.
Yeah.
But that's not yet the culture for Thailand.
I would say experimentation, failure is not a part where Thai people kind of accept that, go back to the education system and all those, right? The smart kids is the one who can do it right. Okay. It's okay, right? When you have a smart kid, good grade, get recognition, it's because they do it right. Okay. But they do it right in the format that fits, right? The test and all those, right? But when you come out of school, you want to create something for the economy, you have to be wrong many times before you get it right.
In the real life.
Yeah, but if you don't have infrastructure and safety nets and culture that nurture people who try things, people who struggle, I think that's very important. So in Thailand, I think, definitely when people success, you see all the news going to, the light going to people who are success, taking pictures, whatever. But I think, if we can shed lights more on people who are still struggling, that would be great too. And I think that's what we did here.
In terms of to scale it up for Thai economy, so how do we do that?
I think scale is not a problem when you actually know why you do it and what's the problem you solve, right? I think that's the first thing that people misunderstand about technologies like AI or any other technologies, that you think technologies is here, it's gonna solve itself. No, it's you need to know who's you're gonna solve the problem for. You're gonna know what's the pain point. It's the same thing coming back to like the concept of.
So it's just a tool.
Yeah. So technology is technology, and to me, technology is cost. If you bring technology in and you don't solve anything, it's double cost.
You waste your money.
Exactly. So you need to solve something, right? Something that I learned a lot is design thinking. When you have to, first of all, knowing the human desirability, like who's actually need this.
Okay.
What are their pain point, right? You have to spend a lot of time talking to people who actually have a pain, and so you know what exactly the problem is. So someone that has a problem, you need to know that exactly what it is. The second thing is, once you know the problem, now you talk about technologies. Like, what kind of technology we need, right? There's so many types of AI. Most of the problem doesn't need AI, right? Why you need AI, right? So be specific about the solution that when you want to solve the problem, right? Because if the solution is simple, less cost, it's great. So you can do it quick, right? It doesn't have to be AI. If you can put the business model around it, so you don't just use it as a cost base, right? You kind of can extract value out of those. But when you have this human desirability, technical feasibility and business viability, these three things, the intersection is innovation, because you do something new for people, you can do it, and then you can create value out of it as well. So these three things. So it doesn't apply just only to AI. Once you have that, you can scale it. That's like a tech infrastructure. It's not a rocket science. But the problem is that when you have technologies, when you have a lot of hype right now, at the end of the day, it's just come back to like, what are the problems you try to solve? I can give you an example, like, for the product that we use internally. We have this AI, ChatGPT, whatever, we don't really give attention that much. And then we go into the business units. We have a unit called AutoX, where they are doing like a title loan. They have like I think 500 branch. They have people selling the product, right? Financial products to like customers. One thing that we really care about is the quality of the service. Is also the regulation, the market conduct. They have to say it right. They have to give the right information. Give the all information to customers. But how do you know they say the right thing, right? You have 500 brands, you have like 100,000 people, customers. And this is why I can come in Right now, what you can do is we call it mistress shopper. So you can, from time to time, you send someone and then you just look at it, right? You can do 100% of all the customer, maybe you can audit like 1%, right? And that costs a lot because you send someone there, right? But what if you have technologies where you can just track what they say and then interpret what they say and then match it with the thing that they have to align, the regulation and all those, right? We have that technologies. But once we have that imagine, right? We know, we go back to technologies. Okay, we need to use ASR, automatic speech recognition, where, voice to text, because people say, right? So we have to translate from voice to text. And then we use a large language model because the text itself is not going to be perfect. You need the model to understand the text. It's because you map it, you train and map it with the regulation, the law.
Okay.
Then you have this result, like, this is 6 words, you say 4 words. That's not good. But the goal is not just to punish them. The goal is to let them know that we monitor and they have to be better. So we create a workflow where we send the email where they know, you're wrong. Next time, please do it right. If you do it right, you get a reward. If you do it wrong, maybe you cut the commission. Those kind of things. At the end of the day, people getting better. We use a tools, AI, to monitor, give them feedback. This feedback loop is a product design. It's not just AI. So this is an example, like you know exactly what you want, you go back to technologies and then you create the product around it. You set the measurement and then you keep doing it and then improve it over time. And it takes time.
Okay.
You bring that concept to life here.
Okay, but it sounds like men and AI are working together so well.
Yeah.
There are so many people that right now they cannot follow AI or the new technology and they are kind of fear of being replaced by all the AI or the technology right now.
Okay.
So what would you like to say to them?
Today I'm the one who don't believe that people cannot adapt. To look back on all the technology. Computer replace job. It's a car replace jobs. It was. Computer replace jobs, right? But people have to learn how to use computer.
Yep.
Right? But at the end of the day, the productivity improve. People who cannot learn is the one who's going to be left behind. That happens all the time. There will be people who can learn and people who fall behind, right? But if you look at my mom, my dad, they can use this mobile phone better than me. They use Line, they send sticker. It's just a matter of all the products actually try to be easy for the user right now. It's just a matter of do you want to learn or not. There's a word where say, AI would not replace people, but it will replace people who don't use AI, because people will be interact more with AI and create more productivities, more work from that, right? So people who don't know how to use AI, those are going to be less relevant. I would say it's going to continue to happen in the future.
So we can still learn.
Definitely.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
So if you have to choose people to work with you, what kind of qualifications that you would look for?
It really depends on which organization that I run. If it's SCB 10X, I would love someone who can learn new things. I love someone who is open-minded. It's pretty much like our culture, who's like be bold about thinking beyond what just happening, right? Keep experimenting fast, right? So I think it's quite aligned on what we are actually looking for. But if you talk to like someone who worked at me before at the food delivery business, right? That's another thing, like operational. They have to stick, work hard, going out there, be present with the customers. Customer-centric, this type of thing. So I think it's not depends on me, it depends on the goal of the organization.
Let's talk about something fun, but not so funny. As we are like people at the age of 40 and up, we have to work with the generations that like older than us, and of course younger than us this day. What do you think about those words?
The key is just try to understand like where they stand. It's the same thing. If you want to grow, you want to make your work successfully, you have to understand your colleagues, I would say. Young or old, you have to understand them, right? Because what they need, right? But if you focus on the young people, I think, because right now, I think young people, they have all the information. We have like 10 colleagues, we have one boss, right? But for them, they know everything. You have to understand them, like what they need in their job and whether you can provide that, right? And then communicate with them on the goal of the organization. To me, at the end of the day, people need the same thing. They need money, they need recognition, need mastery, they want to get better, and then they just need to work on something that matters. I just found that for young people, if you know the goal of the organization, you communicate to them well, you actually respect them like what they need and what the company needs, and where is the alignment, right? For young people, they understand it pretty well. So it's like a direct conversation. And because of SCB 10X, we kind of select those type of people who like say what they want, right?
Yeah.
And then we can say like, this is what the company wants. You want this, whether it match. If it's match, it match. If it doesn't match, it doesn't match.
So turnover is just like a small thing
Yeah.
to your organizations?
I mean, to me, it's not a small thing. It's unfortunate if someone left, right? But there's so many cases, right? You know, companies growing, young people's growing. Maybe they grows much more than what we have here.
Okay.
I have a developers who's like, fresh grad from school. They come here, they love it so much. They got a job at TikTok in Japan, in Taiwan. Like, why not? Why not going? Like, you go, right?
Yeah.
And then you can, and they come back after that.
Opportunities.
Exactly. So I think the organization shouldn't just look at the turnover, right? Because if you look at turnover rate, you look at all the big corporates, you have wrong people.
Yeah.
And most of the bad management is you cannot let them go. And all the good people will become bad people. That is something that I'm very aware of. So you need to have the right people all the time.
Since you have been creating such a culture for a good company, so what's your filter? So how do you select good people that matched your company?
It's a culture. You communicate the goal to the candidates, and then you know what you look for because you have a culture that works for everyone already. So you need someone that fit with the culture. So that is the type of question you ask, whether they have that kind of culture or they have the learning ability or not. Whether they can do something that people don't understand, whether they're good at speeding, whether they think too much. Those kind of things would happen. It's something we look for, but it has to be related to our culture. That's the way we work. So that's very important. And so it's not just me, it's the organization. If I change the organization, culture will be different. So the people I select will be different.
When talking about vision, how do you envision your organization in the next 3 or 5 years?
For SCB 10X, we hope for venture capital is very simple. We have a financial return, the target, we create alphas, but we also would like to go into a place where we know we be an eyes and ears for SCBX in terms of the technologies that's emerging. So that's one thing. Another thing is that we hope we create more products. Now we have Typhoon being used from like 100,000 people. We would like to create more of those. And we listen to the crowd out there, in the society, what actually they need and what are something that we can do. So hopefully we can come up with more products.
Any startup in particular that you think is very interesting?
I really respect the founders, right? Those are the ones who really do a lot of work, a lot of experiment. And there's one startup that we actually partner a lot with them that we invest early 2 years ago now. I think they become like a unicorn called Together AI.
Together AI.
Yeah, Together AI. Kind of decentralized cloud platform for large language model.
Okay.
Typhoon has been using that, and the cost of the inference that we use is less than we use AWS, like 70%.
70%?
Yeah,
wow.
So the cost going down like that. Now they become a unicorn. Those type of technologies is something that we would love to bring it here, around here. It doesn't have to be a SCB use it, right? We want people to know it and use it. Now we're just doing a case study with them that we actually their early customer, early investor. We want to help them grow. Those are the type of relationship with startup that we would like to create. So we invest, we help them grow the business. When they come here, people here actually get the benefit out of those technologies.
You always learn new things. And when you found new things that you would like to apply or bring into your companies, what you do?
When you have a new kind of way of work or the goal that you want to implement in the organization, big organizations have a problem with the change management. And that's something I learned from I think my mentors. People hate change, right? People hate change. And when you change something as a leader, it's like you're a train. You're coming to a platform where your employees is here. You are trained. You're coming, and you tell them, "Let's go. We're gonna go this way. Let's go." 20 people will be on board. 80 people
will stay the same.
Will stay the same. You know what you need to do? You just go. When you go, there will be 60 people more.
Move.
They're running, and you need to have a belief they will catch the train because. They're not early adopter, but they don't want to miss the train.
Okay.
But you have to go and get that 60 on board. 20, they are laggard.
Okay, they
it's
will
fine.
Left behind.
It's fine. But there's many leaders. What they did, they came. 20 people come, they don't go. They wait for this 60, 40 to come. They don't come. What happens? That 20 going down. Because you don't understand the concept. Like, it's not everyone love change. People just look at you whether you're serious or not.
Okay.
The only thing that makes it serious is not just say it, but do it.
Okay.
When you do it, there will be a big lot of people, okay, he's serious, then he's gonna catch the train. And there will be someone left behind, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's the concept.
You've been there and done that.
Yeah.
And so how many people did you get so far?
Almost 100.
Wow. That's good. Okay. There also are some people, they don't believe in work-life balance. Work-life balance. How do you balance in your life?
I think when it comes to this kind of age, then I don't think it's a word balance that much. I just feel like you do your job, right? And your job is not just your job here; it's a job at home as well.
Okay.
So it's
that's job.
That's a
that's
job.
not a leisure time.
It's a job.
Taking care of family.
Exactly.
That's a job.
It's a job.
Yeah.
You can be a CEO during the day, but you have to be a dad, a husband.
Okay.
It's not your balance between job. It's like you have to juggling with all of those, right? So you have to know exactly what you have to manage the time around that. So I would say it's not just work and life. It's everything. The thing that's very important is the priority.
Okay.
To me, it's clear at this age, it's family.
Okay.
So if I have to go to my kids' football, I have to go.
Okay.
All people here, employees, they know they have to wait.
Yeah.
I also lead by example. They should do that too.
Okay.
Right? That's the way I manage because I think it's important. I think a priority should be clear. Yeah, but you still have to come back and catch up on works and all those, right? You have to deliver at the end of the day. But you have to know what's actually important. You deliver for what? If you deliver jobs, you deliver is because you need to earn yourself a living for your family, right? And so families come first.
Okay.
So I think the priority is very important. It's different at this different stage of your life. Right now,
Okay.
I think I kind of know. I have a small kids. I want to spend time with them. For young people, when they don't have all those burden, somehow it's just, you just go for work.
Okay.
Why not, right? It really depends. So any people has different tasks, different family background. Who knows? If you look at social media, right? There's so many good life there, but some actually has debt. Some have to pay their rent. Some is like with a luxury
They
family.
have so many burdens. Yeah.
So there's someone who's have burden, someone who's not. It's not fair. Yes, life's not fair.
Yeah.
So you have to understand your context and just do it, right? So I would say it really depends on your goal at the time. If your goal is for work, if your goal is you want to get promotion, you want to learn as much as you can when you still have time, go do it. You don't have to talk about work-life balance. But if you think, oh, maybe this is an age where I want to explore. Oh, I want to do something else. Oh, okay, so you don't have to focus on the work that much, so you go explore. It really depends on what you need. The thing is, you have to be careful about watching others because they're not you. They hide many things behind. They distract you and their family background, it's not the same as yours. You cannot compare.
Okay.
Yeah, so be sure what you need and go for it.
Okay. And one last question, the questions on our show. If you have to choose one big issue, you cannot not talk about it, what would it be?
One thing that I really believe when you manage people in the private sector is an incentive system. In a private company like us, we think a lot, short-term, long-term incentive system. If people actually, like in startup as well, if you are like corporate people, you get salary, that's like a short-term, things, you get it every day. But if you do a project, like innovation projects, where people have to live and die on that project, right? You have to work hard on it, right? You give them stocks and all those, right? So that's like a long-term incentive, right? Okay. We had that kind of thing here. So the incentive have to align with the horizon, the period of the projects, right? But if you look at the society, I think this is very interesting. Like the incentive system where people like us or people who is actually taking care of, the policies and the laws and whatever, which is very long term for the next generation, like my kid, right? What are the incentive for people like us to think about them, where we are not just a good person? Because people can say we're a good person, but I believe in incentive. Is there any incentive where we do it and then it's good for the next generation, not us? What are some type of incentive that we can give to policy makers, to lawmakers, so we can have a better air quality, we can have a better education, we have a better safety nets for the next generation. Those are something I wrap my head around a lot because it's not just you're a good person to do it, right? I believe in incentive, but I kind of not figure that out. What is the incentive for us to think for them?
Okay, so we have to think a lot,
Yeah.
and the policymaker must think even more.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for joining our show คุณต้องขอบพระคุณครับ
Thank you for having me.
We have learned a lot from you.
ขอบคุณครับ
A great pleasure.
ขอบคุณครับ Thank you.
I hope you do, just like me. You have learned a lot from this young guy. He's young compared to the other CEO, and he's so good at what he does right now. So next time, I hope we will meet the new guest that as good as him. Don't forget, learn your goal, know your goal, prioritize, and focus on it. And then one day you might be a CEO just like him. Until next time, people, with me and a time to talk.